Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha. At first, I offer my humble prayers in the lotus feet of Lord Shri Radha Krishna. I also extend warm greetings to all of you. Today, from the scripture UDDHAV GITA, the last message of Lord Shri Krishna, we will be listening chapter 12, where Lord is instructing his dear friend and devotee UDDHAV about various castes and orders of life. The holy word from the scripture are as follows. UDDHAV said, Thou hast already spoken of religion which makes for devotion to thee and is meant for all human beings, with or without the observance of caste and orders of life. Please tell me, O lotus-eyed one, how by practicing that religion for himself a man may attain to devotion to thee. The supreme and blissful religion which thou, O mighty armed Lord, O Madhava, didst once expound, so it is said, to Brahma in thy swan form, has now, O queller of foes, almost ceased to be in the mortal world, owing to the great passage of time, even though it was once inculcated. O Achyut, there is no other teacher, originator, or defender of religion on earth than thou. No, not even in the court of Brahma, where the sciences are present in visible forms. O slayer of Madhu, when thou, the originator, defender, and expounder of it, wilt leave the earth, religion too will die. Who, O Lord, will then explain it? Therefore, O Lord, who knowest all religions, please describe to me which of us is fit for that religion which makes for devotion to thee, and how he is to practice it. Sukadev said, Thus asked by his own foremost servant, the Lord Hari was pleased and described by the time-honored religions for the good of men. The Lord said, This question of yours, O Uddhava, is righteous, for it will promote the highest good of men who observe the duties of caste and order of life. Learn that religion of me. In the beginning, in the Krita or Satya Yoga, men had but one caste which was known as Hamsa. People attained the consummation of their desires from their very birth, and hence the age was called Krita. In that primeval age, Om was the Veda, and I was religion in the form of a bull. The people of that age, who were pure and given to contemplation, used to reflect on me, the Pure One. At the beginning of the Treta Yuga, O noble soul, the science of the Veda appeared from my heart through the agency of the prana. Out of that, I became the sacrifice with its threefold adjunct. From the Virat sprang the Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudra. From the mouth, arms, thighs, and feet, respectively, they were distinguished by their specialized duties. The householder's life sprang from my thighs, and the student life from my heart. The life of retirement into the woods from my chest, and monasticism was on my head. The tendency of the different castes and orders of life among men were according to the place of the origin. Inferior position produced inferior tendencies, and superior positions superior ones. Control of mind and the senses, contemplation, cleanliness, contentment, forbearance, straightforwardness, devotion to me, compassion and truthfulness, these are the tendencies of the Brahmana. An indomitable spirit, strength, patience, valor, fortitude, liberality, enterprise, steadiness, devotion to Brahmanas and lordship, these are the tendencies of a Kshatriyas. Faith in God, charity, humility, service unto the Brahmanas, and of insatiety from the amassing of wealth, these are the tendencies of the Vaishyas. Attending on the Brahmanas, the cows, and the gods with sincerity, and being contented with what he gets therefore, these are the tendencies of the Shudras. Uncleanliness, falsehood, theft, atheism, barren disputation, lust, anger, and greed, these are the tendencies of a fifth class beyond the pale of the other four. Non-injury, truthfulness, freedom from the theft, lust, anger, and greed, and an effort to do what is agreeable and beneficial to all creatures. This is the common duty of all castes. Receiving in order the second birth, known as the sacred thread ceremony, a Dvija should live in the house of the teacher with self-control, and summoned by him should study the Vedas. He should wear a girdle, deerskin, rosary of Rudraksh beads and the holy thread, and carry a staff, water pot, and some kusha grass. He should wear matted lock, must not wash his teeth and clothes, and never use a painted seat. He should observe silence while bathing, eating, offering oblations to the fire, repeating his mantra and answering the calls of nature. He must not pare his nails, nor cut his hair in any part of the body. He should observe strict brahmacharya and never make any conscious lapses. If he is accidentally impure, he should have a plunge bathe in water and after making pranayam, repeat the Gayatri. Of mornings and evenings after attending to cleanliness, he should silently repeat his mantra with a concentrated mind and offer his worship to the fire, the sun, the teachers, cows, brahmanas, superiors, old people, and the gods. He should know the teacher to be my own self and never disregard or look down upon him as a man, for the teacher represents all the gods. In the morning and evening, he should bring the doles of food or whatever else he may have received to his teacher and eat what he orders him to with moderation. He should always worship the teacher, serving him as a menial by following, resting, sitting, and being near with folded palms. Behaving thus, he should live in the house of the teacher, shunning comforts and maintaining absolute chastity till his study is complete. If he wishes to get to the Brahmaloka where the Vedas reside, he should, while observing continence, surrender to his body unto the teacher as a tribute for the study. Being selfless and possessed of the strength that comes of studying the Vedas, he should worship me, the Supreme Being, in the fire, the teacher, his own self, and in all beings in a spirit of identity. Person other than householder should forbear to look at, touch, converse, and cut jokes, etc., with women and avoid seeing animal pairs. Cleanliness, the sipping of water preparatory to certain functions, performance of the services due in the morning, noon, and evening, straightforwardness, the visiting of holy places, repetition of the mantra, avoidance of things not to be touched or eaten, and of person not to be accosted, looking upon all beings as myself, and of control of mind, speech, and body. These, O Uddhava, are the observance meant for all the orders of life. The Brahmana who thus practices brahmacharya becomes as a blazing fire, and if he is unselfish by this intense asceticism, his desires are burnt out and he attains devotion to me. Then, after having properly studied the Vedas, if the student wishes to enter the householder's life, he should make the teacher some reverential present and, with his permission, perform the usual ablution. The qualified Dvija may enter the householder's life, the hermit's life in the woods, or the monastic life, or with his mind intent on me, he may proceed from one order of life to the next, but never otherwise. A person wishing to lead a householder's life should marry an unblemished girl of the same caste who must be younger in age, and if he wishes to marry any other, he should do so after the above marriages, and then in the succeeding order. The performance of sacrifices, study, and the making of gifts are the duties of the twice born. The acceptance of gifts, teaching, and the helping of others to perform sacrifices are the occupations of the Brahmana. A Brahmana who regards the acceptance of gifts as destructive of austerity, spirit of independence, and fame should live by either of the other two means, or if he considers them harmful, live upon the grains left ungathered in the fields. The body of the Brahmana is certainly not meant for the satisfaction of pretty ends. It is for the rigorous austerity here and endless happiness hereafter. A Brahmana content to live upon grains left in the fields and in the front of shops, and observing the great taintless duty while he lives at home with his mind given up to me and not over-attached, attains peace. Those that rescue a Brahmana devoted to me from his misfortune, I will quickly deliver from the dangers, as a boat picks a drowning man from the sea. A king should deliver all his subjects from misfortunes like a father, and as the leader of elephants rescues the elephants in his herd, he should preserving his balance, deliver himself by his own efforts. Such a king shakes off all his sins on earth and ascending the heaven in an aerial car resplendent like the sun, enjoys in the company of Indra, the king of the gods. A helpless Brahmana should get over his trouble by setting up as a merchant, selling only things allowable. If he is still overtaken by misfortune, he should have recourse to the sword, but never resort to dog-like servility. A king in adversity should take up the occupation of a Vaishya or live by hunting or even as a Brahmana, but never take a dog-like servility. A Vaishya in trouble should lead the life of a Shudra, and a Shudra adopt a weaving of mats, etc., which is the occupation of the Karus. Once free from the adversity, none should desire to maintain himself by a despicable profession. By means of study of the Vedas, the utterance of Swadha and Swaha, little food offerings and distribution of the food, etc., a householder should, according to his means, daily worship the rishis, the means the gods, the lower animals and men, respectively, considering them as forms of mind. By means of wealth that comes to itself or is acquired legitimately, he should judiciously perform the above sacrifices without taxing his dependents. He should not get attached to his family, and even though he is a householder, should not forget God. The wise man should consider the unseen enjoyments of future life just as perishable as the visible enjoyments of his life. The association with one's son, wife, relatives, and friends is like the chance meeting of travelers. They depart with the end of each body, as dreams are inextricably bound to sleep. One who, reflecting thus, lives at home without attachment and egoism like a guest is not fettered by the home and is free. A devotee worshipping me through his household duties may lead a householder's life. But he who is attached to his house is afflicted by the desire for sons and wealth, and is henpecked is foolish, and being beguiled he comes under the bondage of I and mine. Alas, my parents are old, my wife has got young children, and how can she, in her helpless state, live with these poor children without me? Thus does this foolish man, with his heart distracted by thoughts of home, continue to think of them without satisfaction. Then he dies and enters into abysmal darkness. Thus concludes Chapter 12 from the scripture UDDHAV Gita, the last message of Lord Shri Krishna. Thank you for listening. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha.